Oh, today sucks.
What a day!
Yeah. This week has been tough.
This has been a shit
Wait,
week.
do you know what'll make it better?
Booze.
Other than booze.
Weed.
Using discount code DRUNK at NorthSpokaneCBD.com to get 15% off your order. That's what'll make it better.
Make it better for you and for us.
Yeah, it will. Aaron, tell them about that sweet stuff you've been taking.
Oh my God, you guys. They've got this beautiful cherry pie flour. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I cut a little bit of it in with my regular flour. I'm seeing huge differences in like my inflammation, my pain level. I sleep better. It tastes super smooth, burns super great, smokes great. Pretty good in edibles too. Seriously, hit them up. Good shit.
Remember, oh wait, I gotta read the other line. Sorry. NSCBD offers pesticide-free. Look, they offer good shit, and there's no.
Yeah, it's not funky.
Yeah,
it's not funky. Shit. You're not gonna get sick. It's not some bullshit like cooked up in a back room bullshit vape juice that's gonna give you popcorn lung or nastiness. It's good shit.
This is shit. So remember, discount code DRUNK for 15% off at North Spokane CBD. I feel like this, when I have you around, it's better to do that because, like, I have a script that I wrote. By the way, this isn't like they came to me and said, this is what you have to say. This was my take on their product. But it's like, I could offer my take, although I don't really know that much about CBD. The fuck are you doing in here? Or I could just let Aaron, who uses their product, tell you how fucking.
Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff.
So how's it going, everyone? Yes, there's only the two of us. Everyone F in the chat for Dre. We don't know what's wrong with her. I don't want to disclose anything that I do know because it's not my thing. Eric, she's not here. So if you want to come on, just message me. You can come on and be our topless chick, okay?
I'm trying to start a watch party, but this has been a shit week.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten it. Yeah, I better go over and do that too. So, man, so I'm always leery to talk about this kind of shit, but I feel like it's really important. This week, my wife got to spend time with all of her kids for the first time in forever.
That's really cool.
So I was happy. Like I was hiding in the basement because they don't like me.
Why?
We can talk about that offline.
The kids don't like you?
Yeah, they don't like me. Look, they live with someone who is related to my ex-wife who accuses me of rape. So,
oh yeah.
I'm sure they hear about how terrible I am all the time. And the younger two are around me all the time. So they're like, oh, that's bullshit. The older two aren't. And I'm not saying that they believe that of me. I'm just saying you can't hear that about someone over and over and over and over and over without it starting to affect your opinion of them. Unless you like have a reason to not think or a reason to actively think that that is not true.
Not somebody you don't know. I mean, if it's somebody you don't know well, yeah, that's going to plant a seed.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of always been that way because they've never really had a lot to do with their mom since the divorce. And I understand. They probably feel a little abandoned. They probably don't really understand why she had to leave, but yeah. So there's only two of us, like I said. So we're gonna be heavily reliant on our chat to give us some stuff. Father alienation is a thing. Oh, so this is Elfie's kids, and so basically all the horror stories that you hear about what women do to dads who just want to see their kids is what this asshole is doing to my wife.
Oh, look, those silly fucking games go both ways. They do.
So yeah, that is a thing. By the way, Laura, you still haven't friended me on Facebook, you dick.
Guys, this is a rough night. This is what happens when instead of getting ready for the show, you leave work and go stand outside in the rain to talk to a reporter. This is the result.
So here's the deal. Here's what's frustrating about when you do this shit. You still look gorgeous.
I was like, shit, but I love you.
And I'm over here looking like someone who definitely needs to be off camera.
A face only a mother could love. He's got a face for radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. I have a face for face sitting. That's what I have a face for. I'm a very comfortable seat, or so I'm told.
Oh my God, you're gonna go straight there? Okay.
What else are we
Okay.
gonna talk about? I mean, that's what it was supposed to be tonight. So with Dre being out, that means that our correspondence with our guest is minimal. So I sent our guest the link at like the last minute. So if she doesn't show up, it's not her fault. We don't hold that against her. There was just so much going on today with Dre being out. The sub show, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You're more like Prey, in my opinion.
Me?
Yeah, I've always used like a primal Prey type.
You know, which is really funny because very, very rarely do I fuck around with primals. Especially people who are hardline primals. It's about a different thing, and I'm not always about that fight for dominance and control. I can't. There's a time and a place for it with me, and I can play that way, but it's not my go-to.
Yeah,
it just isn't. I have a thing for rope, man. I'll always be a rope bunny at heart.
Elfie is the same way. Like, she loves the art of rope, but like I'm not super flexible, and I'm obviously fat, so there's a lot of things with rope we can't do.
Look, I'm gonna reject that because I have seen amazing rope work that involved submissives in wheelchairs. There's absolutely a way around every conceivable issue. There just is.
Yeah.
And for me, like, rope and leather are about more than confinement. It's about more than bondage. It's very tactile, right? So it's very auditory.
So it's not like, how do I she doesn't have the experience to work with the fact that I'm heavy, and she doesn't have someone to teach her. There aren't a lot of rope masters around here, and there's certainly none that we're comfortable with going to meet and hang out with and learn from.
No, man, if I was going to take a class, a rigging class, I would want to find anywhere in the fucking free world where Midori was doing a class. She is absolutely like the ultimate rope master. She's brilliant and artistic and creative and very, very smart, sensual, capable, dominant. And she understands the multi-tactile ability and kind of dimension that rope can bring to a scene. And I mean, not just rope, but Midori specifically for rope. Leather is another one. A lot of people that do hook suspension have similar kind of ties to their happy place. It's not my cake, but I've seen it done and kind of seen that space that the individuals are getting into, and it's very real, very valid, and it works for them. So, props.
Yeah. So if you are watching this on YouTube, please smash that subscribe button, ring that bell, because we are doing nightly news episodes, and we really want you to see that. And give us a like. No matter what platform, if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, give us a share.
Yeah.
Please, that really helps. We're doing some really good growth tonight, notwithstanding, because tonight's just shit. We don't have our guest, and we're down one of our hosts, and we're both low energy as fuck. But
yeah, it's been a week, guys, and there's shit coming up, and we're coming into convention season, and the end of convention season, beginning of national convention. Yeah, it's crazy.
I still haven't got my tickets. I gotta do that on Friday when I get paid. We're almost like dug out of that hole that me being out of work for a month put us into.
It happens.
Look,
you get down to a hole.
Like it sucks to be where we're at now, but I'm a little egotistical about it because like I missed 2.5 to 3 weeks of work, and Elfie missed over a week, and it didn't break us. Like, we're behind, but I don't have anything going past 90 days right now, and everything is going to be mostly caught up.
So then, dude, you're rolling with that Chumbawamba mindset, right?
Yeah. Dude, by March, especially if Elfie gets this job, and I think she will, by the time March rolls around, we're going to be in such a good place. And by the time summer rolls around, with both of us working, basically like with her equaling my pay, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I found out that my VA claim, they sent me a letter saying that like they may not need any more evidence or an exam.
They shouldn't.
Which would be a slam dunk, right? If they
Yeah.
actually read my record.
Yeah.
And said, "Oh,
okay.
wow.
I can't ring your bell if you won't send me a friend request, Laura. I'm not giving this up. Look, a friend request or booty pics. It's got to be one or the other.
Or both, preferably both.
Preferably both. You know,
I mean,
just know that anything you send me gets shared with Elfie.
And me, I'll see it. I mean, I've already seen it, but I'll see it anyway.
So, what's going on? How's the politics in Oklahoma right now? I saw that your best friend,
my best friend. Oh,
your best friend went to prison for 20 some years or whatever.
Yeah, my best friend, 22 years is what he was sentenced to.
A news story, I remember.
Yeah. I mean, like just my dumb luck, right? The 1 year I agreed to serve as chair, we get Joe Exotic. Like, what the fuck? Look, I'm gonna tell you, that the only reason that Joe Exotic was able to run as a libertarian for governor in Oklahoma is because the state sucks, right? Like, all government sucks. We know that. So in Oklahoma, it's not the parties that get to dictate, or even their members, or even the registered voters that really dictate who runs for those offices. It's the state guidelines. So literally in Oklahoma, David Duke, Elizabeth Warren, any of them could move to Oklahoma, establish residency, and run as a libertarian. And if they wanted to run for U.S. Senate, they wouldn't have to even establish residency, because that's not what the Constitution requires. What the Constitution requires in a U.S. Senate candidate is that at the time of the election, they are an inhabitant of the state they wish to represent. There is no
your homeboy Richard had to drop out of the race because he moved.
Well, no, I mean, he did move to New Mexico. He said later that I was coming after him because he allowed his wife to move. Like, listen to that dog whistle. I allowed my wife to move. Like, she needed your fucking consent anyway. But if you are not physically residing in the state you're running to represent, you know, your abode isn't there, that's not where you sleep, then you're not an inhabitant. The definitions, legal definitions for inhabitant and resident are very different. I mean, that was my concern. The guy he was running against is a piece of shit. Like, the guy is a dirtbag. Richard absolutely would have been better in that position than Wayne Mullen, hands down, unquestionably. But what happens if you win and then Mullen goes, "Oh, but you were at the time an inhabitant of another state, and now your seat's vacated, and now all those good people who came out to vote for you so that you could beat this guy have been let down." Then what? Right? Like, not a cool optic.
So this is a really cool thing. You would totally become quick friends.
Oh yeah, Laura, you'd love her.
So I just saw this scrolling through Facebook. Jared shared this. Apparently, Billie Eilish, is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
I've seen her around a bunch. Her and her brother, who also apparently won a Grammy.
Finnegan? Isn't his name Finnegan?
Phineas O'Connell?
Phineas, yeah.
Which is, by the way, a proper fucking Irish name. Like, all the way through. Congrats. They were both homeschooled.
Yeah, well, unschooled, probably more so than homeschooled.
I mean, to me, it's the same thing.
It's not, though. Like, homeschooling implies a curriculum of some sort. Unschooling is just kind of rolling with it and using everyday experiences and letting them be the educators without any kind of formal structure of education.
I would think that there are still things that you need to learn in a more structured. Like, if you're going to learn. Just because math is all about rules, you have to have rules when you learn math.
Let me tell you, I struggled all through junior high school and high school with math. Really did. Struggled. And then when I dropped out for about a year, went to work full time, was working in kitchens, where I was using math without realizing I was using math. No structure there, right? 3/4 of a cup of this, and now you need to triple that recipe because we're feeding this many people. When I went back and went back to the alternative high school to finish, they gave me a math placement test and stuck me in a calculus class that I had never passed pre-algebra. You can learn math without a structured environment. I learned math from cooking. A lot of people have learned math from cooking.
The way you said that pretty quick though, so I thought you said I learned meth from cooking.
Oh, that would have been funny.
So I have discovered a new love in my life.
Share. Spill the tea.
It is not tea, it is Bailey's, my friend.
Oh my God. Are you on Bailey's?
So here's the deal. And maybe it's just because I miss my mom so much. Like the last couple of months, I've really just missed my mother. And it's probably because like I'm basically done with everyone else in my family other than like a couple cousins and nephews and my dad. But most of the rest of them can fuck off at this point. But my mom used to drink coffee in Bailey's. And that was like her, it wasn't very often. It was only like
her treat to herself.
Yeah. And only for holidays and stuff. So if she would get a thing of Bailey's, it would last for a fucking year.
Look, man, I think regardless of your relationship with your parents, there are times that you just need your mom. There are times that you just need your dad. And it sucks when they're not there and not accessible. And I don't think that goes away.
No. I mean, look, a couple of weeks ago, I felt like I talked about this. I felt like I needed my dad, and like it was too late to call him, and he's not going to understand the shit that I'm going through anyway. So I had to call John.
Yeah, look, like Maggie's right, though. She says people on meth don't usually cook a lot of food.
Oh, but do they have to cook meth?
Well, not all of them. Some of them just buy it from somebody who does. I mean, that's true. John's a good stand-in for your dad now and then. And I'm just now thinking of the million different ways that could have gone wrong, and people can take that.
Like, I don't know how we're supposed to go from him being my sub to him also being my daddy. Like,
look, maybe you're switchy.
Maybe, I guess.
I mean, I think it's the universal truth.
He must not be watching.
Look, seriously, last night, trying to drive home and get all my shit in one bag, I called John and was like, hey, is this a bad time? I'm trying to get all my shit in one bag and I need to verbalize this shit to somebody because my head's a little spun out.
You want to tell the story of you saving a life?
I did not save a life. That is not how it went.
I think you did.
I hope I help somebody find a little comfort in a situation, but I don't know that I saved a life.
If you stopped him from moving and helped stem blood flow, you probably saved his life.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I was driving home from work and a little country road. Some of you saw my post about not flying down those country roads, right? And this is what it's about. Hi, BB.
What's up? There was a serious lack of toplessness here, so of course I had to hop on.
Hey. So I'm driving home and it's a little narrow country road and I go over this little like kind of hill and start coming down the other side and there's headlights and people stopped and you can't pass. So, you're slow down and stop the car. And this guy comes walking up and says, you're going to have to turn around or back up because there's been a hit and run. And we've got bodies in the road. So whose fucking speaker is on? Why am I hearing myself? On delay. God damn it, Eric. So I said, I'm a CNA. Can I help? And he said, yeah. So I parked my car and grabbed my med kit and went over. What had happened was a dad had been out walking or jogging with two kids in a stroller, a 3-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy, and a vehicle struck them. He was wearing a reflective safety sash. Little girl's shirt was pink. The little boy's coat wasn't real dark. It was like a Carhartt jacket, right? So and I think the reason the little boy had fewer injuries is just that jacket and his full-length jeans. I'm sure that helped.
Wait, so this guy was wearing a PT belt and he still injured himself?
I
feel lied to. They told me that was supposed to keep me safe.
Yeah, well, it didn't keep him safe from the vehicle that struck him, right? Not dad.
I'm not trying to make light of the situation. If you weren't in the military, you won't get that.
Yeah, you won't. Look, it knocked him off.
Was it green or blue or red? Because that determines what it protects you from.
It was the yellow green.
Okay, see that's just from physical force.
Apparently.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
but
no,
but
I'm
that's
going to
a
reject
car
that.
hit him. That's physical force.
Look, I'm going to reject that because the physical force required to knock him about 10.5 feet off the side of the road is pretty extensive. The stroller was just mangled. The little girl was launched up into the woods. And really all I could do was, kind of triage. We got the little girl bandaged up, got the bleeding stopped, took her vitals, blew up a nitro glove and tied a knot in the bottom of it and said, "Do you want a balloon, sweetie? Because what are you going to do, right? You're trying to calm these kids down." And then went to check on Dad. And just at that point, really the only thing I could do for Dad was try to keep him very, very still. He needed way more care than anybody was going to be able to give him on scene. They life flighted the little girl and Dad. The little boy was treated and released. Dad and the little girl are stable. So, I mean, it's hopefully going to have a happy ending, but there is no way that those children aren't going to be traumatized for the rest of their life because somebody couldn't take 5 minutes to slow the fuck down or pay attention. And I don't want to hear, like, the police are going to rule this an accident. And, they're doing their job, I guess, whatever. There's no way that you didn't see that reflective belt unless you were not paying attention to what you were doing in driving. So to me, that is negligent. That is not accidental. It's kind of bullshit.
See, this is why we need to replace crappy drivers with robots.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah, a car with a sensor would have at least seen him. And I'll tell you something else. Like, if you're going more than 20 miles an hour down that road, even in broad daylight, even in great weather, you're just a fucking idiot.
Like, people get mad at me because even with a Jeep, when I'm going off-road, it's like, I have nowhere to be. If I'm willing to go off-road, there's something going on that makes me want to be careful.
Yeah, then the only thing you're looking out for is how many zombies you run over.
Yeah.
Well, like, and I get it, right? Like, you hear people say, "Well, I can't be late for work again," or then fucking leave earlier. God damn.
Make better life choices.
Do you think? How much work do you think you're gonna miss if you're flying down that road, hit a deer, mangle your car, and ended up in the ditch yourself? What's it gonna cost you to replace your car, even if you don't hurt anybody else?
Thank you for the share, Nathan. That helps us out quite a bit. So first off, I did just talk to our guest for tonight. On the long list of things that are fucked up tonight, include her Facebook. So we're gonna get Chase rescheduled. This was just a clusterfuck tonight for everyone involved. So you get naked furry Eric over here to jump in and help carry a conversation.
Eric's not a furry.
I'm not a furry, but I do fit the Dom category, so at least you have that.
He's a lumber snack.
I know. Look at this, Aaron. It's gotten so long since I saw you last.
I want to put baubles in it. It would make me happy.
So apparently what's going to be happening is my beard is going to be braided into multiple other libertarian beards, and there's going to be a photo shoot. There might be a calendar. At a minimum, there's going to be just pictures of it documented.
Wait.
When is that supposed to be? I'll have to grow mine back out. It'll take a couple weeks, but I'll be fine.
So wait, let me get my head around this. Is the plan to braid together libertarian neck beards in an attempt to break the Guinness Book of World Records record for number of neck beards connected by braided beard hair?
I like a human caterpillar, but with beard braiding. I like that idea. I can get behind that.
I have to challenge Nathan here a little bit. Hang on.
Like, there's got to be a record that you can set there, right?
Oh, if you're gonna get naked, why am I here?
So here's the deal. Look at this. So I went into the doctor to get a pre-op, and they had to do an EKG. So they've got like these fucking shaved patches that look fucking ridiculous. And I walked into the shower last night because Elfie and I were getting ready to take a shower. And I'm like, dude, check this out. And she hadn't looked at me, like my chest all night, apparently, because I don't wear clothes in the house unless the girls are here. So I walk in there and I'm like, dude, check this out. This nurse made me look stupid. And she looked at me and she's like, I kind of had a libido until a second ago.
Dude, why did you not just shave it?
Yeah, you look like Steve Carell in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, you should let her wax it as punishment.
Next Tuesday.
Whack, slap, poke.
Next-
Whack, slap, poke.
Look, we have to be having
Clarkson.
we have to be having a little bit more sex before I'm willing to join into some punishment. She's doing better, but school is kicking her ass.
Well, and look, man, sex is a two-way street. Nobody is always in the mood all of the time, and if your partner is being argumentative or dismissive or whatever, that kills that.
Her problem is she gets herself hyper stressed out and then has no libido.
So then you have to build an environment of relaxation that allows that to replace it.
So
like
I've
rose
done that.
petals and candles and aromatherapy.
I bought a massage table and massage oils. Even that doesn't work.
Yeah, but
I don't even skip straight to putting it in her butt when that happens. Like,
for me, that
I
wouldn't
genuinely
work
give her
either.
a massage.
Well, for me, that wouldn't work either if there was still dust on the ceiling fan, trash that needed to be taken out, dishes that were piled up, kids that were screaming, bills that were unpaid, no food in the refrigerator, no gas in the car. Like, all of those other things need to be straight, or nothing else that you do is going to work.
Right, but I feel like I tackle my part of that.
You may tackle your part of that, but part of a relationship is that sometimes 100% of it is your part, and sometimes 100% of it is her part.
And Zach, maybe you need to step up your game. All right, maybe just for a little bit, just get Elfie over the hump. All right, that's what needs to happen here. Okay,
So,
don't do it for 7 years. All right, I'm not telling you to do that, but just do it for like a week or two.
So here's the deal. I actually do that. It's just when we get into weeks like this where it's like I have a full week of work, 2 appointments, and then on Monday I have a surgery. So like right now I'm not feeling like doing a whole lot around the house either.
Right, and that's the problem. You're both in the pit at the same time, and it's hard to pull somebody else out when you're there, and your shoulders are already sore. You don't really feel up to be in the bench, right? So sometimes
I mean, like I said though, if anytime she wants to take a seat on my face, I'm perfectly cool with that.
Maybe
unless you're in the bathtub.
Yeah, maybe you need to put her on the seat on your face.
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, dude, no.
Like, hey, let's go take a shower.
Aaron, I know where you're going. Don't go there. This is public.
I'm not.
Don't go there.
I'm not going there. I'm not.
The thing is, like, So Aaron,
like you need to get with Eric after the show.
You got to see me a little bit this weekend express frustration. You got to see that discussion. Here's the deal. She is out of a long-term abusive relationship, and I understand that carries major baggage. And there's going to be times where she's just not there for that, and I understand that. My only thing is like, I need effort. I need to see that you're trying.
I get it. It comes down to that whole love language is bullshit though too, right? Like what effort looks like to you.
Have you read that book?
Yeah.
I have to. No, I read it like 3 times. So
yeah, what effort looks like to you may not be what effort looks like to her.
Yeah. And so you're funny. It's funny because I tell her that it's like, okay, I understand that the thing that you think that you're doing to show affection and love, I'm not saying that you're not showing affection and love. I'm saying I don't receive that language.
No, what you need to do, Zach, is so you need to get you and Elfie's like your birth dates, your birth time, and the location, and run your full zodiac chart and figure out where your Venus is. Okay, because that determines how you care about somebody and express love. So if you'd like me to be your zodiac advisor, me and my committee of analysts can review this for you and determine.
I'm a Libra, and she's the one before that.
But I need to know where your Venus is. That's not enough. Like,
it takes a full chart.
Yeah, have a full chart. See, like my Venus is in Capricorn. So that's what I need. I need to see work ethic, and you need to do things and not be an incompetent wench playing, phone games on the couch for 7 years in order for me to actually care about you and think that you're a halfway decent human being.
Look,
So that's
do
the
you
sort of stuff we
remember?
learned.
Do you remember when we did my chart? Me and you and Laura on a blaze, and we put my chart up, and Laura's like, "Holy fuck, there's no water anywhere in your chart." And I'm like, "I know, I'm fucked."
No, you were 100, like all Earth signs. It was straight up
Oh,
like Capricorn, Virgo, and I think like 1 or 2 Taurus. And I was like, oh my God, Aaron, I want to be you.
so Zach, think of it this way: when we talk about
Oh wait, hold
zodiac
on.
sign,
I got consults for zodiac consultations. So if you want a zodiac consultation, what you should do is, Zach, what's the pay thing for drunk and disorderly? What's the thing you all do?
Subscribe Star or Anchor is how we take payments. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Subscribe Star, those
Or
other
Venmo.
things. Yeah, Venmo. Look, Venmo, $10, and I'll give you that's all the info I need. I'll give you a zodiac consultation. Send it to Drunk and Disorderly Liberty. Y'all are welcome.
thank you.
From my wonderful basement here.
I mean, so look, here's how it works. We talk about the cardinal signs, right? And it's fire, earth, air, and water, right? When you break those down into ways that you can process them, fire is I will. It's everything that you can force that human will can control. Water is I feel. So it's all emotions. Air is I think. And earth is I have. And that comes off as sounding like real materialistic, but it's not. For earth signs, the things that might be considered possessions would be family, relationships, connections, financial security, a safe, warm place to sleep at night. It's not always materialistic, bling and flash. A lot of earth signs are not materialistic, but they do need that sense of security that comes from possessions.
I would like to remind everyone I am a Jesus freak, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work for me.
Trust me, it does. Look, it's flipping magic.
It
right?
will,
Do you know how many bad relationships I avoided by doing a full zodiac chart? I just want to throw that out there, like numerous ones, okay? Because I walked in and I was like, oh my God, like a Cancer sun, Cancer moon. I need to get the hell out of here.
Run fast.
Yeah, that's my kryptonite. Cancers are terrible. Like
that's too much water.
No,
You're
oh my
brown.
God. Yeah, she spent 20 minutes talking about what a great mother she would be to my children. Like on the first date, too much.
Yeah, those are like the creepy stalkers that want to boil your rabbit and wear your skin.
Here's the thing. A young raptor would be like, let's get started on that. An older raptor is like,
does she know where I live? I need to move.
No, it's true because see, like so this double Cancer. Like if I had met her like 8 years ago, I would have been all about it. She was totes adorbs, but like today, like oh no, I ain't doing this shit again.
Yeah, like for me, Capricorn Sagittarius works, but Capricorn Pisces is a problem.
Hey, chill out, Aaron.
I mean, short term it's okay. Long term, that's too much water. I can't handle that shit.
I know that, but that's because you don't have it. You're all earth. Like there are no emotions.
Sorry, this comment. I've read Bible 1, Bible 2, and like the first 1/100th of Jesus and Friends Come to America, which I assume is the Book of Mormon that we're talking about. Look, here's the deal. Mormonism is fun to make fun of, and I'll never say no. But like seriously hot women. Oh my God.
Look, okay,
I've never met an ugly Mormon female. I'm sure they exist. I've never met one.
So I was in Salt Lake City maybe year and a half ago. Yeah. When I was scrolling through Tinder, and the one thing that I noticed, half the chicks there on Tinder stated that they were 6 feet tall or more.
Most of them are.
Yeah, it's like it's just this amazing genetics. They're all tall. I was in heaven. And they had In-N-Out Burger. So In-N-Out Burger and tall women. What else do you need?
I think Nathan Hammond's onto something, though, when he says theology is something everyone should pursue. I don't disagree. I think the more various theologies that you study, kind of the better picture of humanity that you're able to obtain. Yeah, I think there's absolutely something there.
So I'm not switching my belief system because I'm not a Christian. I am a Jesus freak. But I am finding that there are a lot of things that sheiks believe in that I'm like, I vibe with that. That resonates to me.
Right. Sheiks are very cool.
Yeah, but Zodiac is a whole other segment of beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't contradict. It's yeah. hey, Look, I know that in America we're so awesome we can create our own religions and our own Bibles, but like, I mean, special underwear and like magic glasses to read hidden text. I mean, come on now.
Look, there
Like,
are also aspects of Mormonism that are pretty fucking cool, right?
Yeah.
Mormons believe that all spirits start out in heaven with Christ and make a conscious decision to come to earth and obtain a body by being born in order to walk that path and obtain knowledge. That's pretty fucking cool.
mhm. Well, and let's not forget their whole like disaster preparedness, doomsday apocalypse type stuff.
And they own Pepsi.
Yeah, guns, backup food, ammo, tanks, God knows what else.
Polygamy. And look, that's a
No,
positive
no.
to me. That's a positive to me.
You're insane. One woman's bad enough.
Oh,
No,
dude,
I need another
don't make me
woman.
call you on so much shit.
I need another woman to deal with the one that I have. Like, hey, can you two go talk for a little bit so I don't have to listen?
Honestly, that is one of the huge benefits of polygamy in those arguments where, especially if it's a triad or a quad and everyone is involved. Yeah, those relationships are in a lot of ways more difficult, but it is beneficial because it kind of eliminates the he said, she said. When you say, hey, that's not what I said, and the other person's like, yes, you did. Now there's somebody else over there going, no, dude, that is not what she said. No.
But look, when you're a Capricorn, you're always right, so it doesn't matter.
Not always. You might be, but like I'm wrong a lot.
On occasion.
Girly the trash panda.
Sorry, I'm looking at comments. I'm a level 5 warrior rogue with a berserker raids perk. Welcome to my in and out. Okay, look, if you're gonna make a D&D reference, that in has to be 2 N's.
And by the way, just for the record, I make the most amazing D&D rogue, like backstab and shadow sneak and like.
What edition are we talking about?
3.5, 3.5. Okay. The real one, not this whole like 5th edition.
I like crap. 5th, but if I'm going to play hardcore, 3.5 is where it's at.
Yeah, 3.5. You stack up your traits, and it's like every single attack's 150 damage. Like, hi, Red Dragon, die.
So Nathan, the Gita's pretty cool. I'm with you on the whole concept of Dharma. It's really. It is life-changing if you can get your head around it. And Emily made a cool statement too. She says also some Mormons believe that when you reach a certain stage, you become your own god or goddess of sorts. That's true. And they're not the only Christian religion that kind of follows that.
If you get into like hardcore Christian theology, it really states that we are deities because we are echoes of God.
Right, created in God's image, which therefore makes you godlike, and you just simply aren't claiming your own ability to be a god or goddess. It's about inner inhibition and holding yourself back, not really claiming the destiny that's available to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool.
Or as Jesus or Paul said about specifically Christianity, not Judaism, we are all joint heirs in Christ.
Yeah, but look, you're talking about Paul. Paul is
very problematic, yes.
Paul, who is so badass that when he got stranded on the island and the snake bit him, the fucking snake crawled off and died. Paul didn't die. The snake died.
He was the original Chuck Norris.
But Bruce Lee beat Chuck Norris's ass. So if we're really going to talk badass.
So I remember that movie because my first karate instructor was the guy who fought Bruce Lee before Chuck Norris. No, there's like those 4 fights at the end, and it was like the little Asian dude, and then like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then like Chuck Norris. He was the first one. He was the henchman number 1 in the fight scene.
Well, you know why Bruce Lee was a better fighter than Norris will ever be, right? Is like because he understood the value of THC.
Oh, okay. So
there was a lot more going on as to why he was a better fighter.
Yeah, there was a lot more going on.
He was the first major mixed martial artist, whereas,
Norris.
I kept wanting to say Walker.
Same person.
Yeah.
Walker Texas Ranger was
just had karate, which, granted, Chuck Norris probably could take most people, especially in his prime.
Sure.
But he wasn't trained in multiple disciplines. The reason MMA fighters now wipe the floor with everyone else is because every fighting style has a weakness. Or if it's a keto, it's nothing but weaknesses. Heyo!
Oh, not even true.
Wow, dad jokes.
Close,
Ta-dun-ting.
So the thing is, I hope my cousin isn't watching because he like teaches a keto, and it is a very beautiful art form, but it's not what I would consider a self-defense.
How many push-ups can Chuck Norris do? Like now or in his prime? Because they're going to be very different.
No, it's
and
all
ultimately,
of them. All of them. That's the answer.
They say that, but ultimately, is it really standard push-ups that matter, or is it like Tenacious D taught us, cock push-ups that really matter?
You can only get one, like, very quickly.
One's all it takes.
Is it? Like, sometimes I've had to go 2 or 3 to get the job done all the way.
Well, then you need to change your angle a little bit. That's how I always do.
I gotta do decline cock push-ups. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta figure out where exactly to hit the right spot, and everybody's different, so you gotta experiment a little bit, like poke around, and find the right avenue.
There was actually an Asian sex therapist that did a whole kind of series on the differences in penises and differences in vaginas, and how some are not meant to pair up. So if it's an improper pairing, you have to overcome that.
Can you overcome an improper dick and pussy pairing, or do you just need to call it in at that point?
Well, you can, man, because technology is gold.
About to say, you got technology, and there's other options too. So
right.
Like, what would you do? Like, were you just gonna buy a sheath if you're too small, or?
Sure, there are extenders, there are girth enhancers, there are donuts that limit length. There are different exercises that can help a vagina accommodate a larger penis. There are all kinds of things that can be done.
I wouldn't have to know anything about that.
Or the easiest one, hands down, is gaining or losing weight.
Yeah,
that's the easiest way.
I feel personally attacked by this relatable content.
You should, but it's the God's honest truth. That's the sad thing. Is
look, different. Real talk. I am 6.5 inches where I'm at weight wise now. I'm almost 8 when I'm in like 200 pounds in fighting shape. It's a huge deal.
Exactly. Like guys complain about it all the time, but like, oh, I wish it was bigger. Well, then like go keto and lose 50 pounds and see what happens. Like you'll gain a half an inch.
Get back in keto. So
look, the other thing to remember is that if you're limiting sexual intimacy to simple penetration, simple penis and vagina contact, you've got 97% of your body that you could use and aren't using. Get creative.
I really like this idea that Nathan had, where you basically send a mold of your genitalia, and then the website matches you with somebody that has the compatible genitalia in which you're desiring. Like,
that would be great if glory holes were still a thing, or behind the curtain. But sex is about.
Have glory holes ever been a real thing, or is it just a myth that happens?
Oh no, it's a real thing. It just depends on where you are.
Like, we're not talking like truck stops and like it's a legit thing.
I can totally see it now. The next convention theme contest, somebody's gonna pay money to bring glory holes back as a theme or something. It's gonna happen. Just wait.
Let's add it to the LP platform. Why not? I mean,
a resolution.
Yeah.
Can you say that you've consented to sex in a glory hole if you were not able to see the person?
Sure, you consented to an activity knowing that you weren't going to be able to see the person. Sleeping beauty fetishes are a thing where somebody is completely willingly unconscious.
Mm-hmm. You can get a chocolate mold of your asshole. Look, if my wife had gotten that mold and just made me chocolates, I would eat those all day.
He would. He's not even joking. You wouldn't even have to wash it.
What's wrong with eating chocolate? I mean, I do that like every night. I sit down and I eat my candy.
Yeah. I mean, I eat my candy too when she lets me, but it's not chocolate. So I made a post today, and
Nathan Hammond said glory holes do not go against the nap. He's right.
I mean, you know what you should, there should be like a light or something, like you put like little pedestrian signs out front of on the curtain, so like basically whoever's receiving can hit the stop and go.
Oh, like at a Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah.
Lower the flag. I'm not ready for more yet.
Exactly. Like I need a break. Like, maybe there's another flag that's like, hey, I could use some water. Like I need to go stretch my legs real quick before we go again. Like I think that's a really good idea, actually. That'd be great for the convention.
Holy shit. He's taking Funhouse to a whole new level over here. Eric's you're gonna be the new PT Barnum and build your own unique style of freak show, aren't you?
Well, look, at one point I was looking at a 2,200 acre stretch of land in Winnemucca, Nevada that had an airstrip. And my crazy idea was to put a brothel on it and then become a pilot and just ferry people out of like Reno and Las Vegas to my like brothel in the middle of nowhere.
Well, unfortunately, because again, the state sucks, government is bad. You would have to fight to lift a bunch of restrictions because people are under the impression that prostitution is legal in Nevada, and that is not the case. Prostitution is legal in certain places in Nevada.
Yes, in counties with less than 20,000 people, and Winnemucca is one of those counties. That's why it was a perfect spot because they already had the airstrip, so I could literally just fly people in from anywhere that a little Cessna could reach, and maybe there's like I'd have to look up what the laws are. Like, does Nevada claim like ownership over airspace and how high it goes up? There's a lot of finagling here. I think I could have been a really good brothel owner.
Look, I mean, technically, prostitution is illegal in Las Vegas, and I assure you that has never stopped anyone from hiring a prostitute in Las Vegas.
I remember what was this? There was this old show on like Spike TV, and it was like this guy that would like evict people from houses, like some process server. And I remember because he was a Marine, and the only hair he had was like this one little patch on the back of his head, and he had to go serve something to this.
So wait, he was like a wannabe Krishna, but he failed at that too.
Yeah, it was really weird. Okay, like dude looked just really weird, but he had to go like serve papers in Henderson, Nevada, and it turned out that it was a taxi cab like brothel, and like his wife starts like freaking out because like some 50-year-old dude gets out of a car and there's this like 20-something that comes out with him, and she's like, oh my god, it's prostitution. And the lady was really like funny. Yeah, and the lady was like, well, there's my license, like I'm licensed to operate in the state of Nevada, so stop, like calm your tits, lady.
That's really funny. Henderson is kind of a very upscale area. I mean, Chris Angel lives in Henderson. Harry Reid lives in Henderson. Henderson is a higher end area. It's my favorite place in Nevada to hit thrift stores.
There is something to be said for going to like the thrift stores and Goodwills and the ritzy places. Like out here in Maryland, if I want something nice, I go out to Columbia because that's where all the rich government contractors live. And so when they want to get rid of stuff, they just take it to the Goodwill.
Dude,
we have one like that here in Omaha.
I didn't know they had rich people in Omaha.
Warren Buffett lives in Omaha.
Oh, are you talking about like the fancy cows that are like GMO free feed or something? Or
this is Omaha, not Nebraska. It is two vastly different things.
Oh, okay. So those are the people that like they can afford gas for their cars, and they buy the ground beef.
The what?
I'm making fun of your state.
Oh, we don't ground beef here. We eat steaks. Actually, I eat the shit out of hamburger. What am I saying? I do keto poorly because, like, my idea of I'm gonna go home and eat keto and intermittent fasting is I go 18 hours without eating, come home and make a taco bowl with cheese and black olives and
let's talk about intermittent fasting because this is one of my favorite things. Like, think about it. Literally, intermittent fasting was created as a diet because people like me and Zach's age are too lazy to eat breakfast. So we turned it into something healthy so that we can justify it. Like, that's what it was.
Wait, did you just say intermittent fasting was created as a diet? Like it happened in the modern era?
Yeah, it was created to justify millennials being lazy and not wanting to eat breakfast. I mean, look,
really, because the Bible fucking talks about intermittent fasting. It's in the goddamn Torah. This is not new information.
No, we invented this, Aaron. Let us have
this. Look,
God.
Back off of my Leo ascending, okay? Because it was our damn idea. And so, besides, I'm the naked one here. Like, you could have taken off your shirt at any point and filled this role, but I'm here last minute. I didn't even have a chance to wash my hair. Okay.
Dude, just because you're cheap and easy doesn't mean I am.
I am both.
I'm not opposed to taking off my shirt. You just got to pay for it.
I have a couple quarters upstairs. That's all I can donate.
A couple quarters.
Dude, we're broke right now.
I think I got like 50 cents and maybe like a McDonald's gift card.
I am sure in your town, because I've been to your town, if you take that 50 cents in McDonald's gift card and walk around for a little bit, you'll find 2 or 3 people that'll split it and take their shirts off for you.
Oh yeah, look, you wouldn't believe how many. You wouldn't believe what Tinder looks like in my hometown.
Yes, I would, dude. I'm in your hometown's Facebook community group.
Oh yeah,
I see those people.
Aren't they nuts? Yeah, the best part is the people who are most likely to be on like Tinder are the married ones. That's my favorite part of all of this.
You should start capturing their Tinder profiles and posting it in the online community group on Facebook.
Aaron, please.
Hey, Mary, tell your husband to stop sliding into my DMs, man. I'm not into him.
Aaron, what makes you think I haven't done that already?
Oh my god!
Like I have an archive of this.
Look, not that like I care. Like it's as long as everybody involved is consensual, I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody wants to get drawn into your false consensual bullshit. And when I say that, I'm not talking about consensual non-consent, which is actual consensual shit.
Yeah, the first word is what matters, not the last two.
Right. I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, what annoys me about it more is when they're hypocritical about it and they want to like, you know, it's small towns. Everyone wants to stick their nose in other people's business. And then, you know, the second that you find out they're doing the same thing that you were bitching about them doing, then they go and cry.
Of course.
You know, go figure.
Of course. Nathan, you're right. Telluride is amazing. I'm just talking about like in comparison to the apartments off the strip, Henderson's a huge upgrade.
Well, honestly, the only thing that I care about is which one's closer to the In-N-Out burger.
Man, we need to get you to a real fast food chain one of these days.
If you say Whataburger, give me 5 minutes. I'll tell you everything wrong with Whataburger.
Instead of 5 minutes, I'll give you Five Guys. And
I like Five Guys.
It's so overrated. Five
Guys is overpriced.
I don't even know that it is.
Runza, bro. If you have not had a Runza, fix yourself.
Look, I don't even.
Jared will tell you.
I like Runza, but I don't even know that Five Guys is overpriced for what you get. Because Eric, you and I could share a meal there and both be really content.
You guys could share a cheeseburger and fries.
Well,
and
but
be content.
Yeah, right. It's like the bag. That's what throws me off. The bag of French fries that, like, as you're walking to the counter, it's dripping grease. Like, I'm surprised they haven't been sued because of all the grease dripping off of the bag onto the floor and somebody falls down.
So, look, like, a good French fry will dip itself into ketchup. You just hold it up and it jumps over.
The one that I go to legitimately has a special needs person that just goes around and cleans the whole time. Like they hired him for that, which is cool in my opinion. Like, what else is that person gonna do? But they've given him a job.
I was cracking up. Since we're talking about like vegetables now, I'm at the store for a client, walking through like the freezer section, frozen vegetables. And companies are seriously labeling corn like cholesterol free. Well, no shit.
Oh, it's like gluten-free popcorn?
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Like, give me a break. Cholesterol only comes from meat.
Or so this is what I started noticing too. I keep finding packages of beef jerky that say like keto friendly, and it's like,
no shit.
Yeah, like, I mean, if it's just plain old like peppered beef jerky, obviously it's keto friendly. And if you're trying to do a keto diet and don't know that, you shouldn't be doing a keto diet.
Do you know what reminds me of when Amy was little bitty? She comes into the kitchen. And she says, "Mom, I'm magic. I can turn off the lights just using my eyes." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, watch. Off, on, off, on." That shit was keto friendly and cholesterol free. Yeah, no shit.
So, hello, Klein. Yeah, that's Klein. It's my homeboy Klein. Everything that I know about substances, I learned from Klein.
Oh, he's your pharmacist.
Well, he's
not. That's a different person, but he's the one that made me realize that I was stupid for not figuring out what works for me. We'll put it that way.
He needs to step up his game then, because you are still functionally illiterate when it comes to substances.
No, I live in a state where I will go to a rape cage if they even think about it, okay? So I don't
I mean,
Let me get to a state where it's not so fucking dangerous and all.
I have acreage.
I mean,
and chickens
and chickens, horses,
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah.
So we can't move down there for the same reason you can't move up here.
I know, dude. Like, I can't go anywhere for a while.
And doesn't that suck ass?
I mean, yeah, but it's like a situation of my own creation. So who am I going to be pissed at?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just that it sucks.
It does. Remember when we were all kids and we were like, I can't wait to grow up. And when I grow up, I'm going to look at us. Fucking look at us now. We should have stayed young, dumb, and comfortable.
I know.
You were going to say full of cum.
Well,
well, like
that part hasn't changed mostly.
Well, and all three of us were stupid enough to enlist, so like let's not forget about that.
What the fuck was that?
So,
yeah, what the
we
hell
actually have to
thinking?
come back and have that episode at some point.
Like, I will tell you, last night
I can wear a shirt for that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
good.
Last night when I stopped for that accident and I'm looking at this blood in my head, I can hear my drill sergeant saying, I'm twisting the tourniquet until the bright red bleeding stops, right? Like all of that first aid shit from back then. When you're at a car accident, you're like, oh shit, this is what my drill sergeant trained me for.
Did you put the T on their forehead with the time? Like, did you go that bad? Or
I didn't go to their forehead, but I did write vitals on people's bodies because I was afraid I was going to forget them before the EMS guys got there. I did.
Okay,
so legitimately, when you were first telling that story last night, last night. I was sitting there thinking, man, if I was there, I would have had a hard time not going through my head. Blood makes the grass grow, drill sergeant.
Guts makes the grass green.
Yeah, sing him some nice cadence. What the hell are you singing? Oh, this is just about killing commies. Like, don't worry, you're fine.
See, our unit did not have those cadences. We had cadences that pissed off the Marine Corps units we were marching with in parades, right? Like,
oh, of course.
Our cadence, like the Flintstones cadence. You guys remember that shit? Oh my god! Yeah, we were definitely in. Our ordnance is a whole different ball of wax, man. Everything was sexual.
So air defense sucked because we weren't part of anything else. There's no air defense cadence. So we'd have to use artillery cadences, and those guys are pussies.
See, I feel your pain because my MOS, like, because that you had in Intel, you have your operators, your analysts, and you had your maintenance guys. So we took a bunch of engineers' cadence and modified them to make fun of the operators and linguists that we had to deal with. That's how we rolled.
And you know what? Don't knock on the artillery guys. God bless those guys. They blew up our motor pool when I was in Germany, and I got to go to the officers' club instead of to work. You leave them be.
Yeah, and they
you didn't have to live. Well, I mean, you probably did, but I was at Fort Sill, so artillery practice was every fucking day. Dude. And Elfie wonders why my 36-inch barn fan is set on high all the time because I got real fucking used to it.
Oh my God. It was years after I got out before I could sleep without hearing shit explode all night.
Yeah, look. Okay, so back.
Boom,
yeah,
boom, and your bed shakes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's soothing. That's the weird part. So like when I was in Savannah, I was like my barracks room was like half a mile from the airfield. And when I came up to Fort Meade, I couldn't go to sleep because I was so used to hearing helicopters and jets and everything taking off at all god awful hours of the night.
Isn't that in North Dakota?
No, what, Savannah or Fort Meade? No, Meade's in Maryland. That's where that's where all those wiretapping a-holes are that read all of our text messages.
Yeah, the NSA's at Meade.
Yeah. So like I actually found a soundtrack of like random airplane noises. And when I came up to Fort Meade, it took me about a month of having that on when I went to sleep to be able to get to sleep. And then as other people from my old unit in Savannah were coming up here, I would give them the CD and like, here, you're going to need this for a month. It's the only way you'll ever fall asleep.
I still think we should have crowdfunded and pulled the funds together to buy that abandoned NSA base in West Virginia and just taken it over as Libertopia.
Do you
it's
mean Mount Weather?
defensible. Yeah, it's defensible. All the infrastructure's there. Shopette's still there. Gas station, barracks, hospital, everything's
I don't
there.
want
You
to
just
be in
move
a base when we start the Boogaloo. I don't want it somewhere where they can just drop a few bombs and take out the whole resistance.
No, look, if you're trying to set up libertarian utopia, okay, there is a naval base in Norway, north of the Arctic Circle. It was actually used to film one of the Pierce Brosnan Bond flicks, and it was $23 million. It came with its own like deactivated nuclear reactor. All you have to get is, all you had to do was call up Gaddafi and be like, "Yo, I need some yellow cake," and you could light the whole thing up, no problem. You got your dock, you got your airstrip, you got everything you need, and it's all underground.
Dude, an NSA base is designed to be defensible. So you move in a bunch of libertarians with armament and ammo knowledge, and I think would be good. And plus claymores.
No, Aaron, that couldn't happen. Okay, nobody could fight against the U.S. government. Okay, they're the biggest army in the world.
So
they have the most technology.
Like, here's what cracks me up every time they say that. Like, I know so many libertarian vets. I know every vulnerable spot on an M1 Abrams tank, and I'm just one bitch. I know how to take out the tank with a long rifle. You want to hit the track,
right?
No, the idler wheel would be better, but that's not the vulnerable spot. There are a couple weak spots in the armor where you can take out the tank.
I can tell you how to overwhelm a Patriot missile battery.
See? And also, please remember that at the time of the revolution, American colonists didn't even have arms. Half of them had pitchforks, hoes, and rocks. Yeah,
and there was a reason we hit the ammo dumps when that war started. We didn't have weapons.
Like, we took out a well-regulated, badass military to include Navy.
Look, Aaron, that's impossible. Okay, the government always wins. They're the ones who build the roads. Like, taxes, that's the price we pay.
So right, like the victors write the history.
There is anyone who thinks that a bunch of fucking peasants and farmers can't overthrow a government, never paid attention to the reason we celebrate Cinco de Mayo. That was one of the best militaries in the world getting their asses kicked by a bunch of fucking Mexicans with pitchforks who they outnumbered 3-1.
I'm sorry. I'm over here laughing in Vietnamese rice farmer.
Afghani goat fucker, yeah. I mean, shit, dude. The only reason that England ever conquered Scotland was because we couldn't stop fighting ourselves when they invaded.
Well,
anytime you get a rebel group in the mountains or the forest or the jungle, all of which, well, not so much the jungle, but everything else we have in this country, you can't beat that.
Look,
it's impossible.
Scotland would still be independent if you guys had just worn pants, so you weren't trying to compare each other's dicks all the time.
Well, and that really is
not
100% false. Part of the reason that Scotland had difficulty is because they had egos that prevented them from building.
No, we did not have egos. Fuck the Campbells. It was all them.
Why do you hate soup so much, man? What did everybody do?
As Raptor proves exactly what I just fucking said.
No. Everyone else could put it aside. They'd be like, okay, England is coming. I know I killed your dad and banged your sister, but we're going to put it behind us for like 3 weeks.
Look, it wasn't
like, oh no, we're going to help the invading army because we're a bunch of fucking cowards.
Well, the other thing is because you guys couldn't build allies, right? When we look at where the first original Marine Corps came from, right? When you look at the Dutch and you start digging into the history of the Netherlands, the bullshit that went on there with England and with William of Orange and the French, they would have been good allies, but the Scots
were our allies.
But the Dutch weren't, and the Scots were too busy going, "Oh, fuck you and your wooden shoes," right? Like, come on.
Like every time I watched Goldmember on Netflix like 3 weeks ago, and that's all I can think of as you're saying Dutch.
So the Dutch are a weird people, by the way.
I created the Marine Corps.
Were they the first Marines?
Yes, they were the first Marines.
I wouldn't consider them Marines. I would
They called themselves the Marines.
Right,
the unit was actually called Marines. They were sailors who cross-trained to be able to go and do some Black Ops shit on land. Yes, right, but Marines.
Marine is
Marines are a
maritime,
branch of the fucking Navy.
right? But a Marine is maritime infantry. Everyone
That's what
had
these
that.
guys were.
Yeah, everyone had that though. They were just the first ones to put it together.
Nobody
You
really had
think
it like
England
that.
didn't have that at that time?
They
when
really didn't.
Their entire country was based on their Navy's ability to keep it safe.
They really didn't. So the
Just started,
Navy
oh my God.
the Navy did transport infantry for them, but it was the cross training that was really the key. And yes, it was the Dutch that first did it.
So I think Jimmy brings up a really good point though that we definitely need to discuss. Like, would Nessie actually have swayed the tide of that battle had he intervened?
Nessie would have said, "Fuck y'all! As soon as you're dead, I get my land back." Interlopers.
No,
Yeah, so I think
Nessie's part of our fucking religion, bitch.
I think Nessie could have been a huge Deus Ex Machina in these battles, but obviously the Scots were too busy, like bitching at the Campbells to get
Look,
Nessie
if
on
Nessie
board.
stays out of it, all kinds of bodies get thrown into the lot for Nessie to feast on.
But I would imagine, like, if I was the Loch Ness Monster, I would imagine that fresh bodies, like still breathing, are going to taste a hell of a lot better than ones that have been sitting on a battlefield for 2 or 3 days.
Also, if I may interject, Scottish bodies don't taste very good because it's basically all sheep and potatoes and cabbage. Whereas British bodies, they have all those spices that they've been trading for, but they're too white. Apparently.
Are you saying the Scots ate so much cabbage they would have given Nessie gas?
Yes.
And in about 3 seconds, somebody's going to comment about how much they love cabbage. I'm just going to call that right now. Okay. They're probably still typing, but that's cool.
Which side would pay Nessie tree fitty first? So I got to learn something really fun about the Dutch yesterday. Apparently, the Dutch are Scandinavians.
Yeah,
genetically, yeah.
Genetically.
When you're Scottish, you assume they're Scandinavian. When you're Northern French or Norman, obviously that's Scandinavian. I didn't think that they hit up they went that far inland, to be honest.
It seems like I read something at some point about anyone who had green eyes or blue eyes, you could trace that back to very specific places, and one of them was Scandinavia.
Green eyes are Northwestern Europe. It's parts of Scandinavia, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, not England unless you have bloodlines from one of those other countries, and the Cornish.
Right. And then blue, it's almost always a trace back to Scandinavia.
It's because someone explained this to me once.
Yeah, it's something about
because it's darker and it's not darker like we have less daylight. It's darker like there's a lot more cloud cover in that part of the world. So the way our eyes absorb light is different because we had to evolve to absorb light differently.
Well, sure, it's the same thing as generations of peoples who grew up in mountainous regions having a wider nose span, larger openings.
Okay, I'm feeling personally attacked again.
Well, I mean, thinner air, you have to breathe more.
So you can see how fucked up my nose is. I've never had it broken. This is how it comes out of the box. So my clan is Cameron. Everyone knows that. That is actually Danish for crooked nose.
Yeah, well,
maybe you should have been fighting the Campbells. Jeez.
Fuck the Campbells. We fought like dogs with the Campbells.
They punched you in the face, your ancestors so many times in the face it became genetic, for crying out loud. Jeez, man. Don't have a beard. Fight the English. God.
That's funny.
Well, that's what we were trying to do. They wouldn't.
It's always their fault. Gosh. Come on, Mr. Libra. You're supposed to be the mediator. And
somebody needed to be a hero and just stand up and go enough.
I mean, that was the Stuarts, but when they lost the throne, it was over after that. The Stuarts were the one that held everyone together.
Oh, so you had one clan who was willing to do the work, and the rest of them were like, "Thanks, but fuck y'all, we're out."
They were the royals. They helped.
Right, because they did the work.
Well, I mean, the progenitor of the line was Robert the Bruce, so fair play. When he had like 100 men in his resistance, he was still fighting a war. So yeah, he kind of did all that by himself.
Right. So I mean, come on.
Why would you call yourself Robert the Bruce? Like, why couldn't he have done something cool like Robert the Impaler or something? Like,
Well,
Bruce.
He was the Earl of Bruce.
Yeah, but so Earl of Bruce, not Robert the Bruce.
But that's how we've always called him, Robert the Bruce.
Well, you guys are weird.
Well, look, it's
we
not
don't
like
titles the same way that the English do.
it's not like anybody who's sitting here today was around at the time to be like, "Hey, doesn't flow right. Let's pick something else."
Yeah, like
It
haven't
is what
you?
it is.
Also, let's not pretend that he spoke English,
Right.
because he wouldn't have, or if he did, it wouldn't have sounded anything like this.
But look, every sci-fi show I've ever watched has shown that no matter what time or country you travel to, everybody speaks English, even other planets. Okay, every planet in a sci-fi show looks like the Pacific Northwest.
That's not
So
true.
clearly, have you ever watched Stargate? Every one of them.
Dude, have you ever watched Star Trek?
That's just
Dude,
Pacific
I love
Northwest
Star
with
Trek
paint.
with like Jar Jar Binks and shit.
Yeah, but it was
What the
literally just
fuck?
paint.
You're fired.
Why?
No, like
Hey, I just got hired. Sorry, I'm
there
throwing
are
nipple. Let me
very
get down.
distinct differences between Vulcan, Romulus, and Klingon.
Well, okay, yes, for those, yeah, I'm talking about your generic,
Oh
like,
my
yo,
God,
here's the
you
little planet you go
fucking
to
nerd.
when the red
The
shirt has to die.
Ferengis, I mean, come on.
I know, Ferengis are awesome, though. That's like the libertarian dream right there.
If you can get over the fucking teeth.
The teeth are what stand out, not the ears. The giant ass ears that are like this, like.
Well, I mean, they're sex organs, so giant sex organs, those are a bonus for me.
That's why they're peak libertarian. Like the rules of acquisition should be brought into the platform.
Real quick, you say they're peak libertarian. Do they have any social skills whatsoever?
No.
No.
Okay, then maybe you're right.
Yeah, they're peak libertarian. There's barely any women. Okay, there's only a handful of Ferengi women. You never see them. Okay,
You know they exist because there are children.
Yeah, but even then, you never see the kids. So somewhere these
Seriously,
women.
did you just say that? One of a Ferengi child was one of the stars of Deep Space Nine. Of course, you see the kid.
Quark wasn't a kid.
Nine really
No,
sounds
but
like a
Quark's
porno,
nephew was.
Oh, okay, well, he was like a teenager though, like not like a baby. Could you imagine a Ferengi baby, like these giant ears and like the head's like this big?
Could you imagine
Like,
delivering that? Ew.
yeah, how does it get out? But see, again, that's why the Ferengi are peak libertarians in every way, shape, and form. And the rules of acquisition are just anarcho-capitalism.
They really kind of are.
Everything from, oh, hey, we don't have a Ferengi military. We just have to pay people to go fight whenever we need to fight.
I would honestly, I would rather that the U.S. did that. We could save money and be more effective.
Or,
yeah,
like on the flip side, so we know that our troops are for hire. And even going into the military, I knew that. Like that wasn't something that I wasn't aware of. I think we should hire out our military at this point to pay off our national debt. Well, as long as you pay them hazard pay and it's a volunteer service, go make money.
Instead of no war for oil, the new chance can be no troops for oil. Because that's what we do. We just want to give us some royalties. We'll go invade. That's cool.
I think you just take all the people that in Libertopia would be exiled and they become the military. So we're going to airdrop you into Syria. And if you can fight your way out and get home, you're free.
Yeah. Or we can just take this to the next level because obviously, like Mr. King of four-dimensional chess, Trump here is building a space force. So how long is it before we have our own battleship?
A space force, Jesus fucking Christ! If Donald Trump's in charge of it, it's never going to launch.
It's going to
be a failure to launch.
It's going to be huge.
It'll be failure to launch.
We're gonna remember they already did the math. We actually have enough materials. If we harvest a couple asteroids, we could build our own damn Death Star. So we might as well get started now.
It's gonna go bankrupt.
Did you see any of the videos where someone's like proving how detrimental to the intergalactic economy that had to have been?
Yeah, blowing up the first one, it was like 300,000 dead, like this many, like quadrillion dollars and whatnot, and like the raw materials.
Never done that.
Yeah, no, we need smaller, like more agile battleships. Like the Star Trek Voyager. We don't need anything much bigger than that.
Voyager was it was a decent size.
Or like a Centauri heavy cruiser. I mean, they can bombard planets and ruin.
How far off
them,
from RTL do you think we are? Or FTL, sorry.
I'll say RTL. Jesus.
Sorry,
FTL, 100 years.
You think? I don't think so.
Yeah. These are the goddamn laws of physics. Like, this ain't like, it's not like, let me build a faster processor, or like, how many terabytes can I put on this little platter? This is like, how can I break the laws of physics to go somewhere faster than I'm supposed to?
Okay,
Yeah,
but on the flip side, if Al Gore could invent the internet, smart people can do anything.
Yeah, if only Al Gore had invented the internet, that would be a viable
He did.
statement.
I remember the 1994, 92 campaign. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Invented the Jesus.
I'm just old enough to remember him saying.
Where
that.
is Al Gore? I haven't heard anything about him for like
He
years
reincarnated
now.
as that Greta chick.
He's tied to Tipper's spanking bench.
Oh, is that like a thing that you know? Like, I didn't know that. Is that like a thing that everybody knows? Or
Dude, Tipper Gore, look at the two of them. Tipper Gore, the face of the Parents Musical Rights Coalition, right? The people who challenged for ratings, who banned Two Live Crew. Clearly, she's the dom in that relationship. Clearly, Al Gore gets off on having her hand in his ass in uncomfortable ways. So, yeah, my guess is he's tied to her spanking.
I mean, yeah. Kink shame, but kink same. I don't know. Like,
I mean, no, like if that's your thing, that's your thing. But goddamn, do the rest of us a favor and own that publicly, so that maybe the cops will stop coming for us.
Here's a good point, and I never thought of this. I don't know how the physics would actually work, but if the Death Star to deliver that much power, how would it not have a recoil effect?
Well, it depends on it. Well, do you believe that light is particles or waves? That's what it would determine. If it was particles, then there would be a recoil. If it's waves, there would be no recoil.
Well, you also have to remember that you're talking about space, right? So the Death Star exists in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think space is a vacuum.
I think space is flat. Theory. Space is flat, just like the Earth.
Dude, since we're talking about flat Earth, all of the co-hosts at Drunken Disorderly, if you are a flat earther who can somehow manage to make your way to the edge of that Earth and live stream back to us from that, we will give you pussy, tit, and dick prints for life. You just got to prove it.
Like once a week or something? Like,
yeah, once a week. As we age, you'll get old saggy nutsack prints from Raptor. It'll be great.
As we age, like I'm not there already. I may only be 34, but my body's like 90.
All of us are going to age except Dre. Dre is ageless.
Yeah.
You'll always get perky tip prints from Dre.
I mean, look, I've never seen her during the daytime. She might be a vampire.
She is not a vampire.
I'm just throwing that out there.
So like, I've gone over there and hung out with her when she doesn't have makeup. She's still an attractive woman.
I have seen her in the daytime, so I know she's not a vampire. However, I have never seen Dre and Wonder Woman in the same place, so I'm not convinced she's not an Amazon.
Yeah,
I am. Amazons are tall. Dre is like 2 feet.
Not always. 2'3". I mean, maybe she's not done growing yet. I don't know what an Amazonian lifespan is. Do you?
I mean, look, like Diana Prince was created in clay like 500 BC, so she's 2,500 years old, and look at her. She looks like she's like 19.
I want to be 14 again and ruin my life differently. I have new ideas.
Well, sure. I have so many new ideas.
What do you mean I lie? What am I lying about? Listen here, bitch. You better not come down here and tie me up and beat me.
We're going to have to change over to the Pornhub channel if you want to do that part of the show.
Hey, we're down for that.
Dude, if I could figure out how to stream this to Pornhub at the same time, we'd be doing it.
I mean, they put gun videos on there. Why not, like bullshit videos?
Does Pornhub do anything about that, or they're just like, whatever?
I mean,
if they leave them up, you can go watch gun videos. That's the only reason I ever go to Pornhub is to watch gun videos.
He lied.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, if you and Elfie want to play that whole thing out, Eric and I, Naked Man and I, we will dub in an audio for you. It'll be Mystery Science Theater 2000 D&D style.
I mean, Nathan is listening still, right? Like you can hook us up with that, right? I need to lose a little bit of weight.
I really like this idea.
So this is
you guys doing live. You guys doing live commentary of Elfie and I having sex?
I want to use that. I want to do that, but what I want to do is take some downloads, various hentai, rewrite the script, put put the subtitles on in different colors, right? And assigned various friends of ours a blind script. And all they get is color, right? So we just tell them what the color is. Your color tonight is blue. Your color tonight is purple. Your color tonight is green. And then we bring them on Blaze style, and they have to read the text as the video is playing. Because I think it would be hilarious to like make Jimmy like the hentai queen. Give him an octopussy.
At some point, we would also need to get a script that is like one of those, like, I had a bot watch 1,000 hours of Bernie Sanders talking, and here's what his speech looks like.
Right?
Some great, like, some shit like that. Absolutely.
Right. Like, we just completely rewrite the script and assign people colors, and you're
Nathan
on.
says it's not out of possibility. I think he's a little drunk. He's not forming complete sentences right now.
I hope
Nathan.
He's a little drunk. It's drunk and disorderly, for fuck's sake.
Nathan, just a little bit of autocorrect, man, goes a long way.
Not if it's voice to text, it doesn't.
You're in, Jimmy. You have no say in this. The nap has not been violated. By being here, you gave us your consent.
You've been voluntold.
Watching
How many
the video
times were you guys voluntold in the military? How many times were you voluntold to do
Every
something?
time there was mandatory fun.
Yeah. Every day that ends in Y.
Yep.
And
Or
what sucks
just
is
go get drunk.
I'm always the guy that's like, I can't just hide and be bored. So everyone else would be chilling and smoking. I'd be like, I'm gonna go find something to do, and that would of course mean that I would get put doing something fucking stupid.
Dude, when I was in AIT, so we all get called out to the hard stand. Everybody files out of the barracks, and you line up, and everybody's in formation. And our senior drill sergeant and our drill sergeants come out, and they say, such and such group is hosting this pig roast for you guys. Who wants to go? And everybody just stands there, right? Because fuck you, that's our weekend, right? We're not doing this. And then they come back with, they're providing free food and free beer. Well, I think there were 2 people in the entire fucking unit who were 21. Like, we all drank, but you're not going to be like, oh, drill sergeant, my underage ass will go and get drunk, right? Like, you're not going to do that. So we're all like fucking crickets. So we get voluntold. We're going to go. And somebody says, look, most of us can't even drink. Why would we go? And the drill sergeant says, I kid you fucking not. Nobody's going to ask for your ID, son. You just ordered us to go break a whole bunch of fucking laws and get drunk. Okay.
In his defense, it's not like anyone actually hits up.
Yeah.
Well, it happens. Occasionally you'll get cops in these cities that are assholes. Most of them wave you onto post, or they'll call your friend to come get you.
Right,
Hold on,
call your drill sergeant.
There's a much more important question here, okay? Because, Aaron, I thought that when you were in AIT, the drinking age was still 18.
Oh, very funny. The drinking age is 18.
Brutal.
For 1 year, the year before I was born.
Well, at a minimum, though, I thought, because back in the day, the bases had their own drinking age, and they could establish their own.
Not where I was.
Certain states. Texas was like the last one holdout.
Yeah, I know, like Fort Huachuca, Arizona, that you could drink up until about 2001 on base if you were 18.
I mean, I couldn't really like go to my drill sergeant and go, hey, I don't think this is a good idea if I go because I'm underage, because I'd already gotten an Article 15 for sneaking out the back gate, getting really intoxicated, coming back in and puking on a cabbie, puking on an MP and his dog. There's a whole list of fucking charges.
You puked on a K9, you asshole.
Right in the middle of the Pistons Bullets game, so they charged me with assaulting an officer. Fraud, forgery, conspiracy, assaulting an officer.
What, you mean the Washington Bullets? Wow.
That's old school.
Yeah.
Half of our listeners won't even know what the fuck that means.
So now y'all know what year it was when I got my first Article 15. My first, not the last. It was not the last.
It's funny. I never got an article, but I was, overweight basically the whole time, so I never advanced either.
Well, so then you never even made a down payment on your stay at the old soldiers' home. I paid my way, dude.
Yeah, I see. That's my biggest regret is that by the time I enlisted, they actually stopped you from getting promoted when you got Article 15s. Like I had a platoon sergeant that I swear to God, this dude had like 3 Article 15s for DUIs on base, and he was at Hunter Armory Airfield. That's not a big base. It's literally just an airstrip and then like a handful of buildings. So how do you get 3 DUIs on a base over the course of like 4 years and screw up that badly?
Dude, my articles never stopped me from getting rank. Like, I'd get rank, then I'd get an article, then I'd lose my rank, then I'd have to get it all back, then I'd get an article, then I'd lose my rank, then I'd get it all back. It was yo-yo-ville.
I started at E2, got to E3 after AIT because it was guaranteed, and I never moved from there.
How?
It's not horrible.
E4 is automatic, dude.
No, not really.
Oh, right, yeah.
That
Not really.
stops progress. You cannot move with that flag. No matter if you have a 264 PT score, which is somehow the second best in the fucking battery.
I mean, did they tape you?
Yeah. Don't get me started. I will start telling stories about racism if we keep going down this road.
Like, what I don't get though is like most of the guys I knew that I was enlisted with who struggled with weight were large when they enlisted. Like, you fucking knew this shit.
Yeah, I made tape by 1/4 of an inch when I first joined.
Right. I mean,
Same. Yeah.
Now, here's what fucked me, because I didn't understand then what I know now about physicality. I was 190 in AIT. Aaron, you have seen that picture.
Mhm.
That was not a whole lot of body fat.
No.
I tweaked my back and my knee. So I went to the doctor. I'm like, I just need a couple days off of my knee so I don't have to run on it. 3-week, no running, no impact on my knees. It sounds great.
It's not. It's horrible.
Not when you're someone who struggles with weight and you don't understand that this cool thing that you've got is very fleeting if you don't keep it up.
Plus, as soon as you're off that profile, you're going to get tested.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, and I have never ever told, only one other person knows this because he was standing next to me and I could see in his eyes that he figured it out and he wasn't going to say shit, because Flip Sides is the best fucking battle buddy anyone ever had. Shout out to Flip.
Hoo-ah, Flip.
There was another Zachary Taylor in my AIT class.
Oh.
And he was just far enough behind me, and because in AIT no one fucking keeps accurate records of anything. So when Zach Taylor arrived and barely passed his PT test at a much lower score than mine, by the way, I just want to point that out. It got locked under both of us because they got back and couldn't figure out who it was for. They're like, who cares? It's only AIT. So I didn't have to take the second PT test coming out of AIT that I probably would have failed because I was still on profile.
Dude, you got lucky. So in AIT, I had some shit go down, got recycled. This was external shit. And then I'd gotten hurt. I got hurt in basic. I re-injured shit in AIT. So I'm in a cast. And then they come to me and say, so this PT test is coming up. Unfortunately, you're going to get recycled again because you can't take it because you're in a cast. So fuck that shit. I cut the cast off. And I go down there like, where's your profile? And I'm like, don't know. Sorry. Don't know where it is. So I ran, and I'll never forget it because my drill sergeant was like, dude, he's like, you're fucking crazy. And I'm like, I'm not staying here anymore. And he's like, fine. Well, if you're going to do this, then let's go. We'll do it. He paced me the whole way through that run, paced me. He was right there. I would have never gotten through it without him. Thank you, Joe Sergeant O'Keefe, wherever you are. Saved my ass. Kept me from getting recycled again. Even though I probably should have let him. I was originally supposed to go to Colorado Springs. Got recycled, wound up in Germany. I should have taken the next recycle. I might have gone to Pensacola or someplace cool.
Which is funny because everyone in my unit was like, oh, I can't wait to go to Germany.
Yeah, well. It gets fucking cold in southern Bavaria.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, these are all big white guys. So.
They had different bases back then, Zach, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was during the Cold War, right?
You wish. If
Yeah.
it was during the Cold War, you
Was-
would all
yeah.
have known me before you knew me for being the bitch that pissed on the wall and then blew the motherfucker up.
I'd say like before or after Korea. I'm just trying to get time span.
Yeah.
All right, so it's been an hour and a half. Thank you, Eric, for jumping on with us.
Mr. Naked Man.
Yeah. So Eric is going to be part of a series that I am doing as kind of a project, and Erin can jump in on this if she wants
Yeah,
to.
I will sometimes.
We're going to just sit down and have a conversation with veterans about the service. It's not going to be overly political, although it's going to be a bunch of dudes that aren't very pro-war anymore, probably. But like, we really just want to tell the stories of what happens, because regardless of what side of that argument you're on in the Libertarian Party, I think it's really important to hear what actually happens as opposed to what you think happens.
Yeah, all this like baby killer bullshit needs to be purged from the LP.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not officially a member.
It's something that frustrates me. Like, obviously, you know, I'm a county chair again. Why the fuck did I do that? It's okay.
It's because you're a sucker for punishment. Look,
Yeah,
it's okay to be a
I'm
masochist.
sub, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see y'all. So like I said, our guests will be rescheduled. Let me actually pull up our schedule for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, who's next week? I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can look.
No, I got it. Oh, go away.
Sam Robb next week, February 11th. That's your next guest.
That's not next week though. Next week is the 4th.
Oh, whatever.
So it's supposed to be Mistress Scarlet, but we're having potential tech issues. That might be a standalone audio podcast that we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
We moved the Iowa debate to the 6th. So
And
then
Mr.
we have
Scarlet
Sam
is
Robb.
the real deal. So if you're one of our BDSM viewers, Mr. Scarlet is the real deal.
Yeah. On the 18th, we actually have Nathan Hammond, who's been blowing up our chat.
Hey, Nathan!
We're going to talk about porn.
Love
He's an
it.
expert.
Internet is for porn.
Yep.
Love it. Love it.
Then, unfortunately, we have to go back into politics, although Joe Bishop Hentzman is a very
Come on,
lovely
guys.
man. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Let's ask
Super
him about
smart.
nuclear power.
We should ask him about nuclear power. Joe's super smart. Ask him. Get your questions ready.
We are starting to book for March, so send us suggestions. You can hit us up on Facebook, YouTube. Just leave a comment on this video. We don't get so many comments that we won't see it.
I'm really hoping we'll get Ken Molman and Richard Longstreth on, who have both declared for VC. We'd love to have you guys on.
I don't want to do it as a debate, though.
No,
I don't think
there's
there's enough.
Come on.
I don't think a vice chair thing is really all that debatable.
Plus, they're both really cool, and neither one of them is that guy, right?
Look, the LP's had some pretty shitty vice chairs. I think there's plenty to debate.
Well, yes, but like, vice chair is basically an at-large spot that occasionally has to run part of a meeting.
I mean, you would say that, but really, it is more than that.
Anyway, we have Mark Whitney on the 10th.
Mark's
Aaron's big on Mark all the
time.
So I will say, I really thought the first time I saw him start campaigning that it said Mark Whitney. So
that's bad logo design. We'll talk about that in another episode.
Eric, you're gonna like Mark Whitney. I think Mark Whitney's the type of candidate that's gonna really speak to you.
Wasn't he a pop singer in like the late 90s?
No,
or that's Mark Anthony. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Mark Anthony. Oh my god.
Okay. Well, sorry, I keep zoning out. We'll see y'all later. Thanks, guys.
Night.
Night.